Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie and I make videos about living in Copenhagen, and I also talk a lot about sustainability. I've done a series of videos which I'll link to up above and down below about second-hand shopping, vintage, second-hand and charity shopping here in Copenhagen. I have a Google map which I add on any of the places that I found and I like, and I'll also link to that so you can also find them. But today, because it's Black Friday, I thought I would do a bit of an anti-Black Friday haul and show you the things that I bought recently secondhand here in Copenhagen. And I'm also going to talk you through the brands that they are, so you can see that actually by shopping secondhand you are getting much better quality clothes for the money that you're spending, and you're also keeping these clothes in the cycle. They keep being worn, they're not just being chucked out. And sometimes I wonder at people that have donated or are selling these clothes and why they don't want to keep them themselves. But let's get going. Yesterday I went to Amagerbrogade, which is the big long street on Amager, big shopping street. There are a number of secondhand vintage shops there, and I went in one which was new to me, and it's a Red Cross shop. But what it is they've kind of found the best things from the other Red Cross shops or the donations, and they've put them in there. Now, each of these items I'm going to show you, I spent around 50 crowns on. Some were 45, some were 55, but around 50 crowns per item. So let's get started and have a look at those. Now, the first one, I just love this. I'm going to come close to the camera so you can see it. It's a sparkly jumper, but it's kind of a subtle sparkle. It's a dark green thing, so it's perfect for sort of Christmas and seasonal times. Now this was, I'm going to say all of them were 50 crowns just for sake of argument, but actually I've just googled this Sonia by Sonia Reichel brand, and their jumpers are, even the cotton one like this, a Lurex cotton one, well over 1,500 crowns. So that's like 100 to 150 pounds. And I got this for 55. Now, I really love this. I think it's going to be perfect for Christmas time. So that's jumper number one. Next, I love colour. And at the moment in the shops, a lot of the clothes that you're seeing in there are not colourful clothes. It's very beige and pale pink, and I'm kind of thinking after this year that we've had, we need a bit of colour. Come on people, come on shops, give us some colour. But I also bought this jumper. I should come closer again. This is a thin jumper, more of a springtime one, or one that you would layer up with. They've cut the label off at the top, but this is, I think it's Vera Moda or Willa, it's Vera Moda. So it's a fast fashion brand again, but secondhand. Perfect. I always check. Now this is a few tips for you. I always check the armpits. I know it sounds really gross, but I always have a bit of a sniff of the armpit to see if it's a bit smelly or a bit crusty, because nobody wants that. You don't even want your own clothes like that. And I also check the seams and everything. So this was perfectly fine. Again, from that Red Cross shop, 55 crowns. This one is Esprit. Another high street brand, but a slightly higher end one, and I do like check shirts, and again you can see I like green. This one I didn't try on in the shop, and I did pick it up and I could see it was my size and I liked it, and I just stuck it on my pile to buy. Some of the seams in the arms are coming away ever so slightly, but nothing that you would notice, and I'm not going to do anything energetic in here, so I'm not going to be splitting out of it like the Incredible Hulk. So that was that one. Two more from this shop. This one, which I thought was adorable. Now, obviously you need to wear something underneath it. I'll stand back a little bit so you can see it. This is from Marks and Spencer's in the UK. It's a pretty blouse with little collar, which is quite fashionable this season. And if you look carefully, they're little cats. Now, I'm not a big cat fan, but I am quite a fan of the quirky. So this one was great, I thought. I love this one. So that went on my, my pile to be buying. And then more colour, and as you can see it kind of matches this. I've got a few tank tops. My mum's actually knitting me a tank top for Christmas, which is a pink colour. So that would go perfectly over this. This is Willa, but it's really lovely and soft. I mean, I don't know how long ago this was in the shops, but I think it's really cute. I like it. It's colourful. Again, I can layer it up with things over the top. That was another one from that Red Cross shop. So all of this together came to around 250 crowns, so around £25 for those 5 items. And as I mentioned with the first one, that was a designer label, you know, it was an expensive label, so I did pretty well with that haul there. So that was from yesterday. Now I'm going to move on to last week. I went to Lidköp, which I've mentioned before. It's the place where you can buy and sell stuff. So you can either, just a quick overview in case you've missed anything I've said about it before. It's in Österbro. It's a big shop. You can either book a shelf or a rack where you can cram as much as you want on. So you choose clothes or homeware or kids stuff. And then there's a premium shelf where people pay per item to put them on there, and it's a little easier to go through. But there was some slim pickings there. So I went and took some time to go up and down the aisles and looked at what was on the busier shelves. And I got these two dresses. This is another Vera Moda. I'll stand back so you can see. Sort of like a shirt dress pattern. It's got a bit of a crazy pattern, which I didn't notice at the time. But I like it. It's got a belt. I wore this when we went out for my husband's birthday at the weekend. It's really versatile, and both of these items, I think this one was she put 50% off on her shelf. So I think each of these items ended up costing me about 100 crowns each, so about £10 each item. So that was the dress that I bought from there. And this one is more of a summer one. Now I saw lots of people wearing dresses like this in the summer, and I looked on some websites and this one was, I think, is only around 600 crowns if you bought it from the company that it comes from, rather than the 100 crowns I spent in the second-hand shop. But I thought that would be a really nice dress for the summer. I like the pattern. I like it's sort of quite loose, so it's perfect if, you know, going up to the beach or something like that, or even just walking around if it gets hot in the summer. So that one I was really pleased with. So those ones there were sort of 200 crowns for the two items. So now we're up to around 450 crowns. And we've got 7 items there, so I think we're doing quite well. Okay, the last 2 items I'm going to talk about before I get onto the coats behind me. I went to a shop called Tapiras. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I'll link below to it. It's also on Ammerbergal, and I think it's quite a new shop. A little bit like Lidköp, it's one of the places where you can go and buy and sell your second-hand unwanted clothes. And it's really good quality in there, and it's really laid out, coloured, coordinated. It's really good. But the concept they do is, rather than you book like a rail for a set amount of time that you could add and detract from as much as you want, like they do in Lidköp, you actually basically rent hangers. So for example, you might say you want 10 hangers for 2 weeks. Now, if you sell one of your items on day 1, you can come in and put another item on that hanger, but you can only ever have a maximum of the number of hangers that you have booked for and a maximum of the time. So that seemed like quite a good concept, and there were some really good quality things in there. The first thing I found was this day bum bag. Now, I love animal print. I think this is probably maybe last season's, but it didn't look like it had been used at all. So maybe whoever was given it or bought it decided they didn't like the animal print. Now, this was 100 crowns, and that's a third of the price I think that you would pay for it if you bought it in you know, the proper shops, as it were. It's big, it's roomy. At the moment, having to carry a little bit more stuff with face masks and hand sanitizer, etc. So it's a perfect size for that. So I'm really, really happy with that one. And the other one, which you might have seen me wearing in some of my other videos, is this blouse. Now, I'm going to butcher the name of the designer that creates it, but it's Fjärdgarten Bohm und Fjärdgarten. It's German. Very well-known brand, very, very popular here. Now, their blouses, again, are well over 1,000 crowns for a similar blouse to this. Did my armpit test and everything, and, you know, I don't think this has really been worn, and I think it's lovely. Again, I wear it underneath a tank top, or I just wear it as it is. So I was delighted with that, and I think that cost me about 179 crowns. So, you know, we're still well under 1,000 crowns. I'll tot it all up at the end and say how much all of this came to. So that I love as well. But now I'm going to get onto the 2 items behind me that I'm really excited about sharing with you. So I'm just going to go and grab them. Now I'm going to get onto the 2 items that I'm really, really happy with. Now, those other ones were good. I was happy with them. They brought some colour, something different to my wardrobe. But this is a Canada Goose jacket, full length, as you can probably see. I don't know how far I have to go back. A full length coat. Canada Goose is an expensive brand. A coat like this is around 6,000 crowns, so £600 online. I got this from Lidkoop. I think the coat was about 400 crowns. The lady selling it had put a label on saying it needed to be dry cleaned. It needed specialist dry cleaning because it's got, I think, duck down in it or something, feathers in it. So I had it professionally cleaned, and all in all, it ended up costing me around 700 crowns in total with the cleaning and buying the jacket. The woman in the dry cleaners, I said to her, oh, you know, I think I've got a really good bargain here. I think these are around 3,000 crowns. And she said, no. And she quickly got on her phone and she looked it up and she said to me, that's like 6,000-7,000 crowns, that coat there. And she couldn't believe it. And then when I went in to collect it, she was still talking about it. I can't believe what a bargain you got with that coat. So I wanted a new winter coat. My old winter coat was getting really tatty. And actually it wasn't getting really tatty. It had some damage in it. I stuck that in Lidkoop to sell. And I got 400 crowns for selling that. So basically, this coat was then free, apart from the dry cleaning. I'm really, really happy with it. It's really warm. There's no damage on it. You can see it has been worn. But apart from a little bit of just, you know, general wear and tear, it looks perfectly fine. And if I'd worn it for a year, it would have that same wear and tear on it as well. So I was really, really happy with that bargain. I've been wearing it. It's not been that cold yet. And I've been very warm in it. So I think that when it gets super cold, if it gets super cold, that will be perfect. And then the last one is this coat here. Now, you've probably seen the fashions at the moment, you know, people wearing, do they call them shackets, like shirt jackets and sort of check things. And I looked at them in the shops. They were expensive, to my mind, in the fast fashion shops. 600, 700 kroner for a jacket, which quite frankly wasn't even lined, wasn't very good quality, and was just a fashion thing. And I thought, I'm not going to spend that. I wanted something for the in-between time when it's not cold enough to wear the Calais de Goose one, but I want something a bit longer and a little bit warmer. And it's nice and sort of roomy, so you can put a big jumper underneath. This is from H&M. I'm not sure how long ago this was from H&M. And, you know, I don't know if I'm alone in thinking this, but I do think that a lot of the brands like H&M, the quality of their clothing has really, really gone down in the last 10 years. Probably because they're churning out so much stock and they have to fill their shelves, and people will just bear it because they don't keep their clothes for that long anymore and they're not that worried about it. But this, I think, is a few years old and it's pretty good quality. I got this, I had an appointment in the city and I was early, and just next door to where I needed to go, there was a sort of second-hand shop, you know, like a privately owned one where he obviously goes around and finds decent things. And this was just hanging in the doorway. And I thought, oh, I really like that. I wonder if it fits me. And it did. And this was 170 crowns. So I was delighted with this jacket. So that is basically my anti-Black Friday haul. I've shown you what I've got in second-hand shops. You can see I've got bargains. You can see I've got decent, good quality stuff, and I've got something that's different to what people are wearing around, but still not different enough that I look like I'm you know, wearing odd clothes. So I love these things. I'm just going to stop the camera for a second. I'm going to add up how much I spent on all of this and come back and tell you. Right, I've added it all up. I haven't included the dry cleaning cost on that, so obviously there was that extra cost there. But I spent around 1,300 crowns, so that's about 130, 140 pounds, and I've got all of that stuff. Now alone, just the things that I got yesterday in that kind of more premium Red Cross shop, you know, that would be one of those items if I bought it new, at least like a minimum one of those items. Even with if you put the designer jumper in there, you know, I'm super quids in with that one. So I think I was talking about this earlier with somebody about sustainability. Now we talk about sustainability, that it's about saving the planet, that it's doing the right thing. But I think a big motivator for people is saving money, particularly at the moment. Saving money is quite a big deal, and we don't need to deny ourselves new pretty things and different things. I mean, you know, we're not wearing a hair shirt just to be sustainable. But if you can go and you can go to some decent charity shops, decent second-hand shops, and you can get things that otherwise you might not be able to afford, whether that is because they're a premium brand or that you simply don't have plenty of money in your pocket. So rather than going to H&M with their dubious practices and buying a blouse, like that check blouse for 170 crowns. For just a little bit more, I've got those 5 items and my wardrobe immediately feels new and refreshed, and I'm really happy with them. So I do think that, you know, we need to think about saving money as well as saving the planet, and also making ourselves feel good and happy about what we're wearing and feeling. I know I keep saying this and I say it in all the videos about secondhand clothing, being a bit different. You know, wear something that other people aren't wearing and have them go, oh, I love that. Where did you get it from? So that's my goal with these kind of videos, to show you what is possible. Now, I know a lot of people, maybe you don't live in a city or in a town where there are lots of charity shops that you can choose from, or vintage shops, but they are out there, they're places, so, you know, just check them out, just do a quick Google in your area. But one thing, and I think I've said this before as well, you know, it's not like going to the high street where you can just walk in and you know there are going to be jumpers, you know there are going to be these things, and they're going to have all your sizes. So for a lot of the time, this is a little bit hit and miss. You might go in, like yesterday, I found all that great stuff. In fact, I could have bought more from there. I just set myself a limit. But, you know, you don't necessarily always find things that you're interested in or you want. So it is a bit of a long game, but a long game that I think is well worth doing. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing these lovely clothes that I have been buying and I'm going to be wearing now this season. And until next time, please do subscribe. Do hit the bell button and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share below if you also live in Copenhagen, or even wherever you live. If you've got a good tip of somewhere where you can go and you can find some decent second-hand clothes at decent prices and good quality, do share it below, because I'm sure people would love to get some more inspiration. So until next time, bye for now.